Hey everybody, it's Markle, and today I finally finished my fishing artifact. Every talent collected. So, the reason I'm doing this is in 7.2. I'm guessing probably at 7.2.5. At some point they're releasing 6 new fishing factions, as well as new fishing artifact traits, and also a couple toys. I know there's toys coming. Then finally, a hidden artifact appearance for the fishing pole. I don't know what the requirements are. Nobody really knows yet because there's not enough information released about it. But I did want to have the artifact complete in case that's a requirement. Who knows? Maybe you want to prep. Maybe you're a big avid fisher. Fishing's one of my favorite skills in the game. I don't know why. I just really particularly enjoy it. In any case, I finished it, and I'm going to show you how I went about doing it. Now, drowned mana was hard to obtain on the PTR. Back a long time ago when I worked on the fishing artifact and PTR and stuff, drowned mana was difficult because there just wasn't that many people in the PTR or the beta or anything. Now, when it came to live, drowned mana fishing became widely loved, and it's very, very easy. I can probably find a group right now that says, like, let's type Margras. Nothing. How about I just type the keyword fishing? Drowned mana fishing. There's a group started, and these slowly grow and become much larger over time, and it usually gets up all the way to 40 people in the raid, and it's almost you can guarantee yourself getting drowned mana at like 100% rate when you're fishing with Margras over here in Dalaran. So he's like right there in the air. So I'm sure you've probably done drowned fishing at some point, or you saw the video about the Brimstone feeder mount, and that's how what you get. But the reason that's important is because you can collect arcane lures, and sometimes you can buy these on the auction house. I don't see them very frequently on the auction house, but if you can happen to come buy a bunch of them on the auction house, you can buy them up to prep for this. I think I fished up 350 or something like that in prep because I didn't know how many it would take me. I used 148 to get all the way from base fishing to max fishing artifact weapon. And how I did this was here. Now on the PTR, the fastest way was fishing down here in Azuna at ghostly pools, because ghostly pools never move. They're infinite pools, and they're guaranteed a fish every single time. It works, but it's not as fast as it is on live. So I came up to Suramar, since I have a ton of arcane lures. Works very well. And if you fish in this area, there are a ton of pools that stretch from like here to over here and back this way. I'll show you. I'll fly in the air and stuff. But the reason being is when you're using arcane lure, it increases your bait chance by 100%. So it doubles your chance that you're going to get a bait. I would say from a pool, you have a 5% chance to get a rare fishing bait. With the lure, it's probably up to 10. That's my guess based on how often I get them. That's probably the rate. Once you get to this trait, and this takes maybe 15 fish, 20 rare fish you got to get to this point, so it's nothing at all. You're going to have a very high chance, probably like in the 75% range, that pools are going to explode on impact. So I'm just going to cast once and see if it happens. It didn't happen. But if it doesn't happen, you keep fishing, and then it can explode at a point. And what it does is it'll completely fish up the pool. So if I have a lure on, and let's go ahead and use a bait, I'm going to cast out, and we're going to catch this fish, and then hopefully it'll explode the next time. But with each pool, I have a 10% chance that I'm going to get a bait back, as well as the extra fish. There's the explosion. That's what I was looking for. But if we loot it, we're going to get, like we cast pretty much 4 to 5 times. It's very regular that you're going to pick up more bait. And the main goal is you're picking up the sleeping murlocs. Now, every time you get a rank, I would recommend going level this up, because it increases the duration of lures. So your rare baits, instead of the base 2 minutes, with the fishing artifact, since I'm max rank, it lasts almost 7 minutes each lure. This also extends the duration of the main thing you're hunting here. So you're after sleeping murlocs. They have the same chance as any other bait to collect. And sleeping murlocs, what you do when you drop them is they run around and drop fish, similar to like the foxflower foxes. So let's go smack him. Now with each rank, he runs around for a longer duration. I noticed it. So you get more fish every single time he runs around. But I'm going to let him run. I'm not even going to pick him up until he's finished. So you can see how many I get compared to maybe your lower level rank that you're getting. So see, he keeps going, and then he's gone. Now, if we pick up all these, this is going to be somewhere in the range of 20 rare fish. So it's almost a 1,000 artifact power for this Murloc every single time you'll see him. I've gotten as high as 40 from a single Murloc. It just depends on how many of them end up being Seer Spine puffers. But there you go. You'll see I picked up 22 in the course of getting all of his fish. Now, I come up to the bridge every single time I release him. Occasionally, people will run across and take a few, but they usually don't run and take all of them. They just get confused why they get an achievement while running across the bridge. But in any case, I do it on the bridge because it's very hard to see the Murloc's fish that he drops when you drop him in the shrubbery, because they get hidden by bushes and stuff. And on the bridge, you've got a pretty clear view of what you're dropping. I didn't have flying until like the last 20,000 artifact powers, so obviously you have to run all the way up every single time to get up here, but it just seemed more efficient because I was guaranteeing that I was getting every fish, as opposed to dropping it, let's say, right here, and then maybe losing 10 or 15 fish because I can't find all of them in these bushes. So when I go back to fishing, if I run to the next pool, it's going to explode. And then I get the fish from my bait that I use. I use one bait, and I guarantee that if I have both of them, I'll use another one, just so I can keep rotating them efficiently. And it keeps exploding. And you see, I picked up another bait, so I would just go ahead and use another one to keep it up. And that way I can constantly rotate these bait. And it gets, as your ranks go higher, it gets obviously progressively much longer between each level, but again, make sure you're ranking up as often as you want to. I would say as much as possible, because again, it makes the Murloc last longer, so you're going to get more fish out of it anyways. And that's really all there is to it. It's a pretty long grind, but I wanted to be prepped for any new stuff that's coming with 7.2 about fishing, so as long as I have that complete, I don't really think there's anything else I can do in preparation of it. And I want to have it done. In total, it takes 7,160 rare fish, or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's roughly that. So you essentially throw 71,000 gold into the water, because they're worth 10 gold each. So you're like throwing away 72k pretty much to get this done. But you do make a decent amount this way, because you get a whole bunch of fish. Like, I probably collected, it doesn't say because the character I send it to is a different one, but I collected somewhere in the range of probably 40 or 50,000 of these. I'm gonna guess. It feels like it was about that much, but I'm not certain. I'm guessing it's around that though. But if you like fishing, it's how I did it. Hope it helps. It'll make the process a little more manageable. If you don't have flying, I recommend going this way and picking up surface tension and underlight blessing as soon as possible, because even though this gives you the occasional gray and green boots for vendoring, the green boots are actually BOE, so you can disenchant them and stuff, but there's no use. This is kind of a pointless trait, but this one is actually useful because it turns you into the fish, and if you don't have flying yet, you can get to the other pools pretty quick. Then you can jump out, you're going to water walk, and then you just fish in the next pool. That's all there really is to it. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to see the new fishing stuff they're adding, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.